Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to another episode of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. I am your host of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. My name is David Bradley, training facilitator and coach with Grant Cardone. I'm bringing you weekly sales solutions, sales tips, sales strategies, and a couple attitude adjustments thrown in there for good measure directly from the 10X world of Grant Cardone. Check this out. 80% of what we do at Cardone Training Technologies is 100% free. So the purpose of this podcast is to make sure the free stuff we're putting down, you're picking it up and you're plugging it into your sales, your business, and your life. So, hey, thanks in advance for hitting that subscribe button. And if you're getting some value from it, please make sure that you're sharing this out into the cyberspace so that other folks can benefit from it too. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about why you're not getting paid enough right now in this current climate, in this current economy. The main reason why you're not getting paid enough and what to do about it. But before we get into that, let's have what? Oh yeah, a word from our sponsor. Let's hear it. Today's episode of the Cardone Solutions Podcast is sponsored by, me and my book, How to Stop Smoking Without Killing Anyone. This book is a no-nonsense approach to you finally kicking the habit before the habit leads to you kicking the bucket. This book is literally going to journal my experience through being a pack and a half, sometimes 2-pack-a-day smoker to literally haven't had one since May of 2002. Written by a smoker who doesn't smoke for smokers. I'm going to give you the tools that you need to take control of your life back. I'm going to show you the subtle difference between stopping and quitting, and it's a huge difference, and it will be the make-break point between you successfully becoming a non-smoker again. Hint, hint. Bonus chapters at the end to support your decisions. It's available on Audible, Kindle, and paperback. Now, if you've already written it off because I don't even smoke, listen to this. Quote, I gained so much value from this book, and no, I don't even smoke. Seriously, check it out. If you have any bad habit you want to overcome, I support this book 100%. End quote. That's from my good friend Tara. Okay. So, you got a habit you need to kick, you got a monkey on your back, head on over to stopdon'tquit.com for more information or to get your copy. Again, Audible, Kindle, paperback. However you want to consume it, it's available for you at stopdon'tquit.com. One more time for good measure, stopdon'tquit.com. And now, on with the show. Why aren't you getting paid enough? So let's talk about it. Let's confront it. Let's figure it out. Let's get a good fat punch in the face of tough love. This is the shocking truth for some. It is shocking when you finally realize what this is, why this is. But I'm going to open it up with a quote from one of the greatest comedians of all time and also one of the greatest critical thinkers of all time. Mr. George Carlin. Quote, most people work just hard enough not to get fired and get paid just enough to not quit. One more time. Most people work just hard enough not to get fired and get paid just enough to not quit. Now, I know this isn't you because you're listening to this podcast, but do you know anybody? Do you work with anybody like this? There is a very simple, pragmatic truth as to why you're not getting paid enough. And this truth can be better explained with a short story. Story time. You ever heard the one about the plumber who went to a homeowner, whacked a pipe with a wrench, and ended a leak? Here's how it goes. That'll be $200, he says. The homeowner is like, sorry, excuse me, squeeze me, baking powder. You were here for all of 2 minutes. All I saw you do is hit that pipe with a wrench. I demand an itemized bill. The plumber's like, no problem. Grabs out his little trusty notepad. He writes down the following. Basic service charge, $9. Hitting pipe with wrench, $1. Knowing exactly where to hit the pipe, $190. Here you are, sir. Moral of the story? The plumber got paid not because of his labor, but because of his, wait for it, specialized knowledge. The plumber got paid not because of what he did, but what he knew. how many people do you know right now, changing the subject slightly, how many people do you know right now who've been earning the exact same amount of money every single year? Year in, year out, same amount, over and over and over again. Let me ask you a question. Where you work, if your boss rolled up to you and said, hey, you know what we're going to do every single year? We're actually going to reduce your salary by about 1.5%, maybe 2.5%. You good with that? Like, how long would it take before you quit? The boss is like, yeah, we're going to take 1.5%, 2.5% off your pay every single year. How long would you stay? Because the reality is, we're talking about tough love, punch in the face. If you've been making the same amount year after year after year, that is exactly what is happening to you right now. You're not getting by. You're not just getting by. You probably already know this. You're literally going backwards. Why? Between the cost of goods going up, gas, services going up, medical, taxes, living expenses, like inflation. Like, if you're not increasing at the same rate, then you're losing. And if you're increasing at the same rate, you're just breaking even. Like, don't be that person. You need to be increasing income and improving your situation at a rate far higher than inflation, and that's about to get like really hard. This is when you hear people say, man, I cannot seem to save enough. I can't even save. You kidding me? And it's not a spending problem that you're having right now. It's not. It's not even a cost of goods and services issue that you're having right now. You know what it is? It's an income problem. It's one of these moments where like the light went on for me. Literally the top of my head blew off when I heard Grant say that. You don't have a spending problem. You have an income problem. Wow. And the solution to this income problem is what? Specialized knowledge, just like the plumber. So now that you know why you're not getting paid, the next step is literally what you're going to do about it. So let's take a look at your income. Let's take a look at your financial goals. First of all, are they big enough to inspire and motivate you to take the right amount of action that you know you need to be taking? Secondly, how often are you looking at those bad boys? And then lastly, just so we can tie it all together, what do you not know about the following things? What do you not know about setting income and financial goals? Or about increasing income at a rate that surpasses inflation? What do you not know about getting and staying motivated and inspired? What do you not know about taking the right amount of action? What do you not know about getting the right specialized knowledge to realize everything we just mentioned? Because literally, guys and gals, it is not what you know right now. It's what you don't know that is hurting you. It's what you don't know that is costing you. So the question that I've got for you would be, if there was a place where you could go to get like all of this information, this specialized knowledge to increase your income, would you want to know a little bit more about it? Would you like to know where it is? I mean, would it be a bad idea to have everything that you need to know to solve all of the problems as to why you're not getting paid in one place? What would having that specialized knowledge be worth to you? It was worth $190 to the plumber. What would it be worth to you? I mean, if it turned out that you could increase your income by 30% over and over and over again, and the only real cost to you at that point then would be time, Are you willing to put the time in? What do you know about Cardone University? Because that's literally the one-stop shop for you increasing specialized knowledge. And increasing that specialized knowledge over and over and over again. But how do you know if you haven't already? How would you even know if you should even consider it? Well, let me ask you this, since we're asking questions. What's just one sales skill? Just one. That if you mastered that one completely, you'd see another 30% almost overnight. Think about one sales skill that you'd like to get better at. And what if you invested 20 hours of studying it, practicing it, drilling it, and rehearsing it? And then once you mastered that, what would you do next? What's the next skill that you need to learn to take the new 30%, that's your new normal, add 30% to that? So you see what's happening? We have people that come to us like all the time, telling us that they were making an average wage, but they're desperate. They're desperate to see 6 to 7 figures, and they want to do that as quickly as possible, but they've never invested in themselves. Why is that? I mean, it's different for everybody, but typically, the reason that they haven't done that, or maybe you haven't, I don't know, it's based on a lack of belief in themselves and their level of discipline. Because when they think about making an investment of time into a program, the first thing they think about is that gym membership that they don't use. Or the Bowflex they got in the garage that is now the most expensive coat hanger in the world. Remember, the only real cost here is going to be time. Money should never be the reason why you don't sign up for Cardone University or any training program. Money should never be the reason you don't invest in yourself, period. Because when you use what you learn, it makes you money. So I guess the real question, if you haven't signed up for Cardone U yet, here's the question. Here's that tough love punch in the face for you. Do you believe in you enough? Are your goals big enough, fat enough, juicy enough, scary enough, and are you writing them down every single day that forces you like, I got to do something about this and I deserve it? Are you worth it? That's the question. And if the answer is, I don't know, well, I would like to challenge you to figure that out. I want to test you a little bit. Because if you had free access to the greatest sales training program on planet Earth that also included marketing and business development and prospecting and follow-up and selling and closing and getting your money right, what would you do with that if you had free access? Like, what problem would you solve? Would you even make the time? You willing to? I mean, if you knew you could increase your income by 30%, where would you find the time? Would you give it a try for 2 weeks? Because that's what I got for you. I got 2 weeks free access to Cardone University. 2 weeks free access to Cardone University with your name on it. So you can go in there and on us, the only cost to you is time, but on us, go get the specialized knowledge you need to increase your income by 30%. How do you do that, Dave? Great question. Glad you asked. Head on over to cardonesolutions.com/Cardone U free. cardonesolutions.com/Cardone, the letter U, the word free. cardonesolutions.com/Cardone U free. Head on over there. Pick one thing. One thing you want to get better at that if you did and you invested time and energy into it over a 2-week period, you can increase your income by 30%. When that happens, and it will, You can stay on Cardone University for only $97 a month, or if you don't need the 2 weeks and you're ready to rock and roll right now, I got a special offer for you when you head on over to cardonesolutions.com/CardoneU-free. And this has been another episode of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Okay, how are you going to become the plumber? What specialized knowledge do you need? And if not from us, get it from somewhere, okay? Because this is the thing that is keeping you from making more money. And the times we're in right now, making more money should be your number one priority. What'd you get from today? What are you going to do about it today? Okay, you're going to go out and get that specialized knowledge. You need some help with that? Feel free to shoot me an email if I can be of service to you in any way, shape, or form. David@GrantCardone.com. You can also find me over on the Twitter @DavidRBradley, and come connect with me over on the new social media platform called BitCloud. It is social media very similar to Twitter, but it's sitting on a blockchain, and there's way less vitriol and a lot of cool people over there. So you can find me there on BitCloud @DavidRBradley as well. I'm going to leave it with the words of Grant Cardone. First and foremost, thank you so much for listening and being here. If you got some value from it, share it and be great, because nothing else pays. See you soon. Thanks again.